You're listening to the Marketing Playbook from the More Than More podcast. We are here to help you simplify your strategy, build your brand, and position yourself as the agent of choice. Let's start the conversation.
All right. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome back to the Marketing Playbook. We have some actually very exciting news today. This is our very first podcast with every single member of our marketing department.
Ever. In the history of podcasting.
And our very first podcast ever.
No pressure.
No biggie.
Well, hi, everybody. My name is Staci. I'm sure you guys know me already, but for anyone that doesn't, I am the Agent Marketing Services Coordinator, part of the marketing department. So I just work I spend a lot of one-on-one time with our agents.
I'm Abbie. I'm the marketing director. I'm in charge of you guys. No, there's a lot more than that, but that's kind of a full-time job.
Basically.
Keeping you alive. Ellie.
Oh my gosh. Hi, everyone. My name is Ellie Dove. You've probably heard my name a little bit. I've roughly been at C21 for almost 2 years now, which feels
very behind the scenes.
Yeah, very crazy.
Super secret hidden team member.
Very backstage. I've been in Ankeny originally. I started as the digital marketing intern about 2 summers ago now. And then I bounced up to school while I was still up there at the University of Northern Iowa. So I kind of bounced around to Cedar Falls office, and now I'm here full time.
Yeah, Cedar Falls knows you really well. Nobody else in the company knows you really well.
She just kind of showed up in Ankeny one day, and we were like, hey.
Who is this new agent? Yeah. We're like, no, she's been one of ours for a while.
Yeah, I still get the, what market are you in question pretty frequently.
All of them. Yeah.
Yeah, a mix of
and now you're here full time as of January, so you're almost 4 or 5 months in.
Yep. Finish my first quarter full
You think
time.
you're going to stay?
I hope so.
Awkward.
Yeah. No, I love it here. It's been awesome. Obviously I'm very biased and love my marketing team, but everyone here has been so great, especially since I started out very young here. I was originally 20.
Well, you're still very young.
Yeah. I'm definitely the young bug.
I feel like everybody starts here super young, and then all of a sudden it's 10 years later, and you're like,
oh, totally.
It's like, no,
I've grown up here. You know?
Yeah.
Me at like a year and a half, I'm like, wait.
Really? Tell us what you do in the, like, where Staci's with the agents, very front stage, very consultation. What are you up to?
Yeah, I'm very backstage. I'm primarily kind of in our website world. So a lot of our maintenance and just kind of overall look and things is where I primarily
We have a lot of websites. We have Iowa C21, we have Iowa C21 Career, we have The Forge. We have all kinds of digital.
Yeah.
More than that, though, you make like the resources for team meetings now. You make a lot of the resources that our agents get. A lot of the stuff in The Forge we work on together. There's a lot of content creation happening in your world.
Yeah, for sure. I love kind of being a mix in all the departments. I help a little bit kind of on the advertising side for like recruiting as well, then the education side with kind of team meetings, reconnect, that sort of thing. But yeah, very backstage. You don't really know where I'm at, but I'm kind of
but
everywhere.
She's there.
You're literally doing what I did when I started. You're a little bit of everything, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, very fun.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah,
you're one of us now officially. Now you're on a podcast. It wasn't real for the last 2 years.
Now it's real. Now
it's
your
real.
face is on the cover, so you're stuck with us, man.
No biggie.
But yeah, we're rocking and rolling this morning, and we are going to be talking about a really cool educational concept called survival to stability.
Yeah. So, all the pieces, right? We've talked a lot about survival to significance for the last almost year.
Yeah.
And now it's becoming like a real thing for everybody. So when this podcast comes out, you guys will all have just taken the Reconnect session, digging into the first transitions of survival to stability systems, which is the very first. We've spent a lot of time in money for the last 6 months or so, and now we are starting to make our way into systems, and then eventually we'll go to leads and team as well. But you guys just dug into transition 1 with Angela, where you worked on building foundational systems. So a little bit of context there for anybody who didn't attend it. The survival to stability transition in systems is very much about creating a little bit of order out of chaos, right? Because when you first begin as an agent, even when you're first beginning, sometimes you can be 10 years in and still in this area, right? You're winging it. And we see that a lot, you especially in the onboarding space as people come in. Just a lot of the requests we get, you guys are wearing all the hats, right? You're the salesperson, you're the client care coordinator, you're the marketer, you're the CEO, you're the CFO. Like, you're doing a lot.
It's overwhelming.
And
There's
you're just kind of
happening.
bouncing around, right?
You're just trying to swim right now.
You're just trying to keep your head above water. You're all over the place. You're like, I know I should be doing this thing because I saw somebody else do it, and so I feel like I should do it.
And you're like, oh, marketing.
And then we go, oh, cool. What's your plan? What's your goal? And you're like, I don't know. I just feel like I should be doing it.
Yeah. I'm like, what socials are you interested in? I have no idea.
I don't know. What should I be on? All of them? Should I be on all of them?
Well, it's like Facebook, Instagram, Snap, TikTok, LinkedIn. Like, there's just it's so much.
And then we're like, okay, but then you set up all those profiles. What's your plan to stay on? And you're like, I don't know, just as I think of things, right? So it's very reactionary is how I would describe it rather than proactive, right? Oh, I have a listing coming tomorrow, maybe, hopefully. I should probably post about that, right? Yep. Oh, I have a buyer client. They closed a month ago. I haven't got their picture up to my social yet. Oh, I really want to farm my neighborhood because the realtor down the street's getting everybody. I never sent a postcard. I don't know what I like. Just chaos, right?
Absolutely.
No system, no plan. Not because you don't want a plan, but just because you're doing everything at one time, right? And then on top of that, you also have to like meet with clients and do paperwork and come to team meetings and just do all the execution of day to day, right? So the transition from that into something a little more stable, a little more coherent, begins with creating your foundational systems. So Angela would have gotten into this with you guys. This is your database. Who do you know? Marking them, qualifying them, sorting them, your 5 spokes, your lead generation plan. Where are you going to go? Try to generate business. What's your plan to do that? Your presentations are actually really important. Your buyer, your seller presentations, your listing marketing plan, because you may not think you're going to get a listing for a while, but when the phone call comes, you want to be ready. Your buyer, seller service plans. Once you have your client, how do you carry them through the process? Your transaction management, you got to stay on top of your paperwork. Luckily, you have a good C21 team to help you do that. And then a basic business plan, which kind of incorporates like your production, right? Your 5 spokes, your SWOT, all those things. So consider this your breakout room. Your marketing team is here. We are going to talk about just the marketing pieces of those foundational systems. The marketing component of your 5 spokes, your presentations, and your listing marketing plan. We are keeping this super basic, super easy. This is just what you need to help you keep your head above water so that you can begin to build your foundational marketing system. So not trying to overwhelm, not trying to take you to level 10 just yet.
Right. Well, that's
just the basics.
That's being in survival, and that's just taking it step by step, just doing one small thing to help yourself and help yourself plan and not be so reactive with everything. And that's where some of these things, your presentations, your listing marketing plans come in. And I like live and breathe these things.
You do a lot of this with agents, showing them where things are.
Yes. And specifically just in my position in the marketing department, I work a lot of one-on-one with the agents, and Abbie had like a little one-liner, and it was like, you don't always expect it to come, and then it's there and you're like, oh crap. And
what do I do?
Yeah. Specifically with a lot of like our print materials, so like your yard signs, specifically yard signs, and just with the nature of signs, they take a while, but some of that stuff.
But it makes sense when you are new or just starting. You're very overwhelmed, like we said. You're sitting with Staci. She's talking about like, okay, here's your cards and here's your sign and all this stuff. And you're counting the dollars because you're going, well, I haven't made any money yet. I don't want to spend $100 on yard signs. Very understandable. I just spent $50 on business cards. Like there's just a lot of things. Do I need this yet? So we're going to get into these basics here. We're going to just show you where all the things are, walk you through it, and then, of course, we're here to help so that if you're ready to dig in, we can dig in further.
So presentations, I really love talking about our presentations. The really cool thing about these is, again, you're in survival. You don't really have a lot of time. You don't have a lot of the mental brain power to go out and maybe make some of this stuff from scratch.
You also maybe don't even know what your value proposition is yet.
Maybe you don't even know what a listing presentation is, and that's okay. You don't have your logos, you don't have any personal branding, and that's okay. You're still figuring out the language of real estate, how to talk about it.
But if you get the call, if mom's friend decides she's going to give you a chance and you can list her house, you have to be ready. You have to have something in hand when you go to their house and meet with them.
And what is that? Well, let's chat. So our presentation. So we have our Moxie Suite. That's my moxie.century21.com for anyone not familiar. You can also access most of these through 21 online and the Forge as always. But within our Moxie suite, we have a really cool tab called Moxie Present, and we have a 58-page templated listing marketing
More than you could ever
presentation,
want.
more than you can ever want. This is also a presentation where you can pull your comps and you can do like your side-by-side comparisons, like all your data. But it also has the other 50 pages of that's not data is it's your branding. It's who Century 21 is. It's the value you present as a real estate agent. It's the process. Is this your first time buying a home? There's just a lot of great information for you to check out. Again, it's 58 pages. It's kind of a lot. But the point is to give you this information and the basics, and that
it's a starting point.
Yeah, and you can go in and customize it, and you can figure out what makes most sense for you and your business. You can make some customizations to the language, and we can always, chat about how to do that.
And even if you didn't, even if you got the call at 5 p.m. and you are barely remembering where to even go to log in to get your presentation, let alone take it to Canva and customize it, even if you didn't have the pre-planning to customize it, you could print it off and take it with you and have a starting point.
Yes.
And half the time, depending on some agents have different advice. Some of them will tell you don't even touch the listing presentation when you're talking to the client because it's all about them, right? So even if you didn't touch it, you at least showed up with something and showed your people that you were prepared, and you can leave it with them. And it's something of value that you can leave with them and say, okay, you look through this. Here are the additional notes that we talked through. I'm going to call you tomorrow and we can answer any questions or continue this conversation or follow up in some way. You have something to start with rather than showing up empty-handed.
Yeah, because in and of itself, it's just a great resource for them to have. Like, it's not super salesy or anything.
And then when you're ready, you can take it into Canva. You can add your personalization, neighborhood specific, your value prop once you figure it out.
And a few different ways I've seen agents use this is some people will print it off. So they'll take the same packet to all their presentations and then they'll follow up with an email, like you said, and they'll use that as like another touch point. Hey, any questions? You want ready to move forward? All that fun stuff. But yes, we're keeping it pretty basic. I don't want to info dump, but in addition to the presentations, we also have some really great resources and additional like one-pagers and stuff in the Forge. So if you ever wanted to add that, some first-time home buyer resources.
So buyer side, right?
Yes.
That's the listing side.
Yep.
Your buy side, the Moxie technically has a buyer presentation, but it's not really a presentation. It's really a neighborhood analysis. Yeah. Not unhelpful potentially, but if you're looking for what Staci's talking about, first-time home buyer resources, buyer process resources, grants, loans, financing, like all that information that buyers need. We have all of that for you in the Forge.
Yes. Also, I'm here to help you walk through all of that. So if you start getting into that and you maybe want to make some customizations, you're not sure what to do, just reach out to me and I'm happy to help you with that.
Yeah. Take them, print them, make them your own. Show up with something, especially to a buyer consultation. There's some really good like worksheet style resources too in the buyer section that you can give to them, that you can use to take notes, that you can use to kind of paint the picture together of what they're looking for. Again, things that you can leave with them. There's just really good stuff. So even if nothing else happens, you can print that off, put it in a nice folder. We have folders in your offices. Bring it with you. Look like a professional, even if you're screaming on the inside, panicking because you weren't prepared, because you didn't have a system and you didn't know you were going to get a client today and you just started yesterday. What's happening? The Forge. When in doubt, go to the Forge. Lots of good things in there, right, Ellie?
Forge always, yeah. That is my home for the most part.
But that's Ellie's baby.
Yeah.
A lot of these resources are in Canva too. We've pulled them into Canva so that you can customize them if there's market specific information you want to add, or if you want to add your own, like Staci said, branding or anything like that. If they're not in Canva already, you can pull them into Canva as well. Very easy to make them your own.
Definitely.
Another thing that we've done is a lot of our resources are in print, but they're also in social, because that's another part to kind of your marketing, listing plans, and just marketing as a whole. I feel like a lot of people think just social for like marketing, but print is a whole nother piece. And like Staci mentioned, your signs as well as a part of your marketing. But in regards to what they were talking about with like the first time home buyer, we did like a whole kind of like section on that, you'd almost say. And there's a ton of print resource, but also Staci made some really great social graphics, and those have some first time home buyer grants. They have just really good informations for people. And also pretty much everything we make is customizable. So if you want to add something that would work better for your certain buyer or seller, things like that, there's a lot of customization that can be made, and just even adding your own branding once you have that, or your headshot. And that's a really good either print piece or an email piece or social.
As I say, put it into an email, make a newsletter with the stuff we've already made for you.
Yeah.
5 spokes. I think this is interesting because people hear 5 spokes and they go right to Zillow and the practical steps, right? Social media. But what's interesting, and you guys would have talked about this, is 5 spokes, part of 5 spokes is marketing, right? So when you 5 spokes, for anybody who's new, is your lead generation plan, right? This is what we coach all of our agents, especially as they move through the foundation series, to create their 5 spokes plan, 3 to 5 areas of lead generation that you are going to focus on for the year. But it's not just areas, it's a plan. It's a written plan of action. What is your goal? What's your intended goal for each area? What's your budget? What are the literal practical steps that you're going to execute on to make those things happen? And then what's the marketing piece of this? So I think this is interesting because you actually do, a lot of the questions you get other than presentations are connected to people's 5 spokes.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to farm this neighborhood. Hey, I want to generate some leads on social media. Those are connected to their 5 spoke plans. So let's just dig into that for a second.
Yeah. So obviously your marketing is going to kind of depend on which spoke we're talking about, but we were kind of chit-chatting before we started the podcast, and I was picking Abbie's brain on just some of the different examples you would see. And a really popular spoke we see is social media. Ellie obviously mentioned that a lot of people immediately think of social when marketing, and there's a lot of print stuff too. But specifically with social media, I always just like to plug the Marketing Hub in the Forge, specifically our Canva packs. Ellie just recently mentioned that a little bit, but one specifically, our sell side pack. We just spent some time revamping that one. That one's probably our most popular kind of social content pack that we have. But that's a lot of your like for sale, pendings, open houses, language like that. So in addition to those, we also have our Canva packs, just a lot of great resources that you can find again in the Forge that are important to think through. Systems. It's not.
So social media is one example of a spoke, right? And you get that a lot because people immediately go to social because it's so visible and like, well, I should be on social.
Yeah, like the trend.
My hot take, my controversial take is I don't think social media should be most people's spoke. So everybody should be on social media, right? Because the world's on social and it creates visibility, right? Top of mind awareness. Social media as a spoke is investing money into it, right? Running ads, trying to generate leads, not just posting to post. And I think a whole other podcast that we could get into is social media dead? Should we still be on social media? Which we're not going to get into here, but I'm happy to discuss my hot controversial take on that. There's a marketing component to everybody's 5 spokes. It doesn't matter what if you want to have a client party every quarter because you want to network and you want to love on your people, there's a marketing piece to that, right? Staci's created a whole masterclass digging into how to market around client events and how to market in, market out, how to stay top of mind via those. Even if you're buying Zillow leads, there's marketing to that too, right? Because you have to incubate them. You have to put them into email funnels. You have to call them regularly, provide items of value. If you're farming a neighborhood, that's very marketing heavy, postcards, phone calls, follow-up. There's a marketing piece to everybody's 5 spokes, no matter what it is. And you just have to think about it holistically. Are you marketing in? Are you marketing out? Is top of mind awareness the marketing piece to that? Because there's pot buys. We just had a pot buy contest. Feels like 10 years ago, but it was pretty recently.
Yeah.
And that got people's wheels turning of like, wow, that is a really great way for me to market to my people, but stay fun. And, maybe I don't want to do a postcard because that costs more money, but I can certainly put candy in a bag and drop it off on people, 5 spokes is really easy for everybody to just really focus on the activity, and you should focus on the activity, but there is a marketing piece to everybody's 5 spokes. And so, like Staci said, the Marketing Hub is a great place to start. Ellie's got a ton of Canva packs. You make Canva packs. You have a newsletter that you put out every month with tools and resources. We have marketing courses there. That is a great place to start. if you're wondering how to create top of mind awareness, if you're wondering how to market with your 5 spokes. And then if there's something you're not seeing, continue to dig into the forge or reach out to Staci and she'll sit with you and help you make something custom. But just don't miss the marketing piece of your 5 spokes, whatever it is. That's part of your plan. And by making it part of your plan, a practical step, budgeting for it if it requires a budget, you're creating a system already, something actionable, something repeatable, right?
And again, just start small. When you start thinking about all the different components of marketing, it gets overwhelming, as with everything in literally every industry. But it is overwhelming, and it's overwhelming to try to become good at all of these different things. Choose one system, choose one specific area just to dip your toes in and get started. So whether it's I don't have a listing presentation, and I know that if I get something tomorrow, I won't have anything to bring with me. Spend the next couple weeks looking through that and digest that. And then once you have your listing presentation, then go, okay, let's maybe expand what other listing marketing things can I look into. Not sure what those even are. Let's hop on a 30-minute call and we can chat about it. But yeah, the point of the system is to do the work beforehand and to automate as much as possible and just set this up so that when it matters, it's in place, you're protected, and you don't have to worry about anything.
Yeah, no, I think that's really good. Just peace of mind, right? That something already exists for you. 60-page presentation already exists for you. So you printed off your 60-page presentation, and it was awesome and really impressive to the people. And your mom's friend went, yeah, I'm going to list with you. Now you have to have a listing marketing plan. Yeah. Now what?
Well, from there, really, you can kind of dive into the print social that we were talking about. So there's a lot of like postcards that you can hand out for lots of different parts of when you're putting something up on the market. So there's one's just like doing your, sending them out to the neighborhood, like the postcards of like, hey, do you know anyone that you want to live over here that you could pick your neighbor kind of thing. So there's postcards for that as well as social. Like a lot of these things really can double dip. And
so coming soon.
Yeah, for sure. Coming soon.
And there's a good, we try to automate as much as possible for you guys, right?
Yep.
When you get a listing on your info sheet that you submit to your ASC, you can ask them to send postcards for you. You don't have to do that yourself. You can check a box and say, yes, please send a just listed postcard. You'll have to do a coming soon postcard. But if you're ready to send just listed, your ASC will go into Express Docs and they will pick a postcard for you. And they'll use the information you've plugged into the MLS, the description, the photos, and they will put a postcard together and they will send it for you. And the charge will just go to your agent bill and you don't even have to sit there and do it.
Yep. And Express Docs is one of our 21 online tools. You can access it in 21 online. Really awesome in the print material world. So definitely check that out.
I think that is a basic non-negotiable, right? Like Ellie said, tell the neighborhood at least. If nobody else, tell the neighborhood that there is something in their neighborhood. Now, coming soon really varies by markets. There's a lot of strict rules about what you can and can't say. So that's your call if you're going to send a coming soon or put something on social. But just listed should be non-negotiable for everybody, and your ASC can help you do that as well.
Yeah, for sure. And then on the social side of that, we already have in the sell side pack, the just listed graphics. So really throw a photo in there. Make sure you're staying
There is
compliant,
no shortage of Canva templates for you
guys.
No.
Work smarter, not harder. We got you prepped for sure.
And if you want to work even less, you can check out Moxie Impress.
Yes.
And Moxie Impress will generate postcards, social media templates, single property websites, flyers, brochures, e-brochures.
Website, unique. That's a big one. Unique property website is a big selling point. You can tell your sellers you get a whole website. It's a web page, but they get a whole website.
And you genuinely
just for them
have to click like maybe 2 buttons. And then you have this really nice professional.
You're going to get someone emailing you saying, I had to click 3 buttons to get to this website.
Sorry. We'll put a disclaimer in the show notes.
May actually be 10. Sorry, don't know.
I'm sorry. She didn't know what she was talking about.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, continue, Ellie. Ellie's got a really good, by the way, she's looking at this really good resource in front of her that we shared at a Reconnect several weeks ago.
Yeah, little cheat sheet.
Walking through the stages of listing. So we'll obviously have this linked in the show notes and it's in the Forge as well. But what else can you do?
So moving on from coming soon, then you get to your just listed point, which is so exciting, especially as new agents. Hello. But with that, you can hand deliver, mail out postcards to the homeowners asking for referrals. You can start sending that in your emails to people who you've kind of contacted. So your family friends, your mom's friends.
Just
like,
listed
get the
emails
word out.
in Moxie Engage.
Uh-huh.
I know another hot controversial take. I know a lot of people are not a big fan of Moxie Engage. We're not going to talk about it. But Moxie Engage actually has really good email features. So there is a just listed newsletter, and there is a just sold component to that as well. So if you go into Moxie Engage, all your people are in there because we made all of you connect your email to it. So there's a lot of your people in there. You can enroll them in the just listed, just sold newsletter system. And every time you get an active listing and every time it sells, they will get a nice, pretty packaged email letting them know. Now, there's not a whole lot else to it. It's not, enough on its own. Theoretically, this is part of a larger system of staying top of mind, right? Which we'll get into in your next transition. But it's something. It is something automated. It is something you don't have to manually do. It's one more piece of your basic marketing system.
And I know we're very specifically talking about listing marketing, but oh my gosh. I just totally lost my train of thought.
I saw that happen. Your eyes just went
as soon as I said listing marketing, Engage with our campaigns. I was like, oh my gosh, and we're recording. There's a lot of other like just top of mind awareness campaigns available. So like a holiday campaign, there's some like first time, there's
Moxie's great at automating the sell side. They don't have quite as much for the buy side, so you'll have to think through that.
Yes.
But yes, there's other good.
So I would highly recommend just looking and just seeing if there's anything in there that you're like, oh, I don't want to focus too much on listing marketing, but there's some other components of that as well.
True. And to kind of bounce on that a little away from listing, but also on the marketing hub, we have a lot of like seasonal templates. So in regards to like your postcards. So even if you're not feeling like super confident in your real estate knowledge yet, just getting your name out there of like, hey, I am a real estate agent, and sending out kind of like the Merry Christmas ones or just different holiday ones and stuff like that. It's just a nice way to get your name out there. Even if you're not like,
we're bouncing around a lot, but basically the answer to everything is there's a Canva template for that. Yes. There's a Canva template for that too. There's a Canva template for that as well. And it's on the marketing hub.
Can you tell we have a lot of resources that we want to make sure we mention?
Canva templates, use them. Please. We can see if you're using them.
We have cool things.
So just to wrap this up, the listing marketing, Ellie's got this resource. There's open house, price adjustments, offer accepted, sold, every single stage of the listing process. There is a print and a social component to it. We've already thought through it for you. We've already written down what you can do. A lot of it is automated, either through Moxie Impress, through your ASC, through Engage. Real Satisfied will automatically try to get your testimonials for you. You might have to do a little bit of personalized follow-up for that, for both your buyers and your sellers. A lot of great tools for you to use. The point, as Staci said, is just to start somewhere. Start small, start basic, just prepare your future self because there will come a day where you do get the call. Yep. And there are a few things worse than being unprepared, standing in front of a client and going, I'm tanking this right now because I don't have something or I don't have anything to leave with them or whatever. Yeah. I think you have this written here, and I think this is really smart. And this is a key, this isn't explicitly marketing. This is just general good business. Block your time.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Schedule your week, plan your time. Make time for marketing. Your lead generation activities are incredibly important. Generation and incubation should get most of your time during the week. Your marketing is not a part of that, though.
Yeah.
It is 100% so important. If it's not on your calendar, it is not going to happen.
If you have it doesn't have to be social, but any marketing, you need to block that out, and your content planning is your work for that. That's your 2 hours, 1 hour, a day even.
Literally, you could block off an afternoon, get yourself a basic postcard template in Canva, just start it for yourself so that every time you get something, make a copy, get your social post pulled in, get your presentation downloaded and ready to go. Just love your future self enough to just block your time and get her done. And it's easy for us to say that, but
I love that line. Love your future
self enough to not send yourself into a panic.
Right. Another plug to one of our cool things, along with our Canva packs, we do have a content calendar that we put out with them. So if you didn't have the brain power to think about what days to post what content, I thought about it for you. So you can print that off and go ahead and schedule that out, and your content is set for that entire month. So
yes.
Really cool.
Part of your basic business plan that you would have talked about at the Transition 1 session is your marketing plan. And we have on the business planning page, there's a couple marketing plan resources, and we're talking about daily, weekly here. Again, just relieve the pressure for yourself. Just think about your year. Even at this point in April, it's still early enough. Just think about your year. If you're really, really, really intent on doing one client event this year, put it on the freaking calendar. Make yourself put it on the calendar.
Set your
pick
reminders.
a time. Work backwards. If your goal is to farm a neighborhood, put it on the calendar. In Q2, in Q3, I will do this, and then work backwards. These are my steps. This is where I go to get my resources. Like, just a calendar is almost the beginning of any good system, right? Like, if it's not written down, if it's not assigned a date, it's just never going to happen. It's just going to continue to float, right?
Yeah.
Use these resources. Make the time. Marketing Hub, great place to start. The Forge in general, there's a buyer page, there's a seller page, there's a lead gen page, there's, like we said, a Canva template for everything, almost everything. There is no shortage of resources for you to use, and we are happy to help you find what you need, point you in the right direction, help you customize whatever it is that you're looking for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure. We also have another plug to the Marketing Hub, surprise, but we just recently added a tutorial section. So a lot of these things that we're talking about, there's now videos made by the lovely Staci. So I know for sure it has like Moxie and Press, Moxie Promote, Golden Ruler. It's
some of the email campaign
tips
stuff.
and tricks. Yeah, but that's like constantly growing. So anything like if Staci gets a wind of, hey, this is a new and upcoming thing, or there's some struggles here, you're probably going to see a video dropping there. And also, those are there all the time. So if you like watch it today, but you don't really hop on that till like next month when you have your feet down, like it's going to be there for you.
There's also some little like one-off, how do I do a green screen video? Some a little bit more social specific, but yeah, that was good plug.
Yeah, some
Good
good Canva
plug.
stuff.
All right, so to reiterate, we think you should get your marketing plan in place for your 5 spokes. Go through your 5 spokes. If you haven't made your plan yet, you will be required to at some point. There is no being here without a 5 spokes plan, right? Think through the marketing component of it. Figure out your buyer seller presentations, even if it's just literally logging into Moxie Present for the first time. And even if you do nothing else, go log in so that you know where to find it, so that you're not panic calling us at the weirdest time going, I need, not because we don't want to answer your call, but just because we want you to not have that panic. And then your listing marketing plan, your basic, Ellie's got a good resource for you to just start the basics of a listing marketing plan so that you can stand in front of your client, your new client, confidently saying, I know what the heck I'm doing, even if on the inside you are screaming into the void going, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I have some really nice marketing pieces that make it look like I do.
Absolutely. But really, it's just about building that foundation and setting yourself up for success and just making sure that your baseline is ready to go. But to end us out, call to action. We have homework for you guys.
I thought you were going to say call the marketing hotline at 1-800. Just kidding. We don't use telephones. We're Gen Z and millennials. No. That's go to the Marketing Hub. Go to the Forge.
But also check out your listing presentation whenever you finish this podcast, whenever you have time to breathe, and just go look and see if you have one, see if you know where Moxie Present is, and just give that a nice little audit. But thank you for joining us.
We'll see you next month.
Thanks for listening. We will catch you next time on the Marketing Playbook. For more episodes, resources, and show notes, head to morethanmorepodcast.com.